You know this game. You can tell just by looking at it, you know exactly what it is. It's obvious. But this game? It practically doesn't even exist. There's only 50 courts on Earth, the balls are handmade, the main racket company went bankrupt, and the rackets are wood and heavy. And yet, it brings so much joy to the small community that knows and loves it.
Court tennis is definitely more than just a sport because of its community. The way, everyone kind of knows everyone and you feel like you belong. So I would say court tennis is more of like a, like a sense of belonging and like a family almost because of how, rare it is and how few people play it. Yeah, way more than just a sport.
The game of court tennis, or real tennis as it's known in England, was invented in 12th century France. The most notable player? King Henry VIII. Yes, the guy with 6 wives. It's a predecessor to modern tennis, and stars like Novak Djokovic, Serena Williams, and Carlos Alcaraz. The game back then was known as jeu de paume, which translates to game of the hand, for the reason that players would hit the ball with their hands. Nowadays, the sport is known as court tennis in the United States, real tennis in England and Australia, and jeu de paume still in France. The game that you know now as tennis is actually referred to as its original name, lawn tennis, for the reason that it was first played on grass. In late September of 2022, I broke my thumb playing baseball, rendering me unable to do any sort of physical activity that I had enjoyed. 2 weeks later, the 48th real tennis court in America opened at Westwood Country Club in Vienna, Virginia. Ever since then, I never looked back. The rules of court tennis have not changed for centuries. Each player tries to get the ball over the net, and in doing so may use any wall, as in squash. The scoring is the same as in lawn tennis, 15, 30, 40, deuce, and advantage, except that the score of the winner of the last point, and not that of the server, is called first. A set is won by the first player to win 6 games, so if the score is 5 games all, there's a final deciding game. This is unlike lawn tennis. The server score is always called first, and after a 5-5 tie, there is a tiebreaker played. At the conclusion of each game, the winner of that game has his score called first. One end is designated for serving. If the privilege of serving switches players, they must change ends on the court to account for this. As in lawn tennis, singles or doubles can be played. Halfway between the two ends, a net stretches from side to side of the court. In the center, the height of the net is the same as a lawn tennis net, 3 feet tall. At either end, the net is higher, 5 feet. Various features of a court tennis court are still known by their original French names. Thus, the long opening at the end of the service side of the court, behind which spectators can sit and watch a game, is known as the dead-ons. At the opposite end of the court, the sudden jut projecting from the wall is known as the timbre, and the wooden opening near it is called the grille. The sloped walls above the lower walls are known as the penthouses, and the floor-to-ceiling wall to the right of the service end is fittingly called the main wall.
So I started playing when I was 7 years old. I played in all the junior tournaments, and I still know most of the people who I played those tournaments with. I ended up going to school with some of them because some schools have courts. There's some universities that have courts, and they are lifelong friendships. Both my parents play. My kids have already started playing. They're 11 and 8. And yeah, we've already encouraged them to to play in the national championships. My daughter Lily has already played in the British Junior under-12s. Put her on a plane by herself last year, age 10.
That community that Ivan has just described is the best part about real tennis. You can't get that sense of community from anywhere else. There's nothing like it. And being able to hang out with friends that you've met in the wildest and rarest way possible, it just hits different. The court tennis community is so tightly knit and everyone knows everyone that it's eventually to the point where you can't even walk into Westwood without seeing someone you know from the game. My personal experience with it is that it's just another way to blow off steam, make new and sometimes strange memories and friends. Running jokes like making fun of the French people, yeah, it's harsh, but everyone does it in court tennis, and things like dressing up in costumes with light-up masks and somehow winning court tennis games with all that on. There's an incredible sense of community that I don't think can be found anywhere else. You know that when your group chat is called the Menaces of London, you've got some good memories already. And even though the sport has been around for hundreds of years and is only barely alive today, these memories, they aren't going anywhere.